Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we are doing all things Dior. We're going to talk about Dior Soft Petals, the new eyeshadow quint. I've got a bunch of things from the Mitzah Collection, which we've already talked about. We're going to do a little bit of an update. I have new lipstick that's part of the Mitzah Collection, maximizers, the whole thing. So if you're interested in seeing all of that, just stay tuned. Hey everyone, so yes, today is Dior day. I've been doing a lot of Dior. If you are subscribed to my Patreon channel, you'll know that a lot of this Dior was already up over there. There's still something up over there right now. I can't remember where it is when this video goes up. That will be coming up over here soon. But I want to do a couple of updates on the Mitzah Collection, which is Dior. I have a new lipstick from the Mitzah Collection, which I'll show you. Talk about Soft Petals, compare it to a couple of other quints. I have some photos that'll go up on Instagram. Some have already gone up. They'll go up during this video. So let's structure this for you all. All right, let's talk about the Mitzah Collection first. So I did a video with the eyeshadow wardrobe, which is this. Hopefully you guys have seen that. If you haven't, I'll hopefully make sure that it's linked above. This is supposedly an eyeshadow palette. When I did the video, I talked about it as such, as an eyeshadow palette. So we'll get to that in a second. There is the Rose Loose Powder, one of my favorite powders of all time. I will have a powder video going up soon as well. In addition, there were a bunch of lipsticks that came out that are part of the Mitzah Collection. The only difference that I can see is that the embossing on the lipstick is a little bit different. And the embossing has the stripe across the lipstick that shows the Dior emblem. Just like this says Christian Dior, it just says Dior across the lipstick. Hopefully a picture will go up, I just did, of the new one. And in that collection on the Dior website, you can get this case, which mirrors packaging on the Mitzah Collection. It does not come with the lipstick automatically. At least that is not what I understood. I understood you bought the lipsticks that say they're part of the Mitzah Collection, and then this case is added. All it really is, guys, is like a Matchbox case, but it does have the leopard print on it. If you're one of those people who likes to have an entire collection, or you like to have the matching, pieces, this is available on the Dior site. The newest lipstick that I bought is 253. It is Rose Feline. The lipstick that I actually reviewed when I did the Mitzah Collection was Pink Leopard, and that is a velvet. I am not a huge fan of velvets, I will be honest with you. They're fine, but it's kind of like I'll wear them, but they're not something I wear all the time. I also have the 1947 Miss Dior velvet, which I'm bringing up because I am going to show you the Miss Dior eyeshadow palette in comparison to the Soft Petals today, because they're very similar. I also want to mention that the velvet, you can see it broke right in half from Dior. That happens sometimes in some lipsticks. I don't get too bent out of shape about it, but it does make it harder to put it on. But I will show you that this is the leopard, this is the Miss Dior. The shades are definitely different. And like I said, the new shade that I picked up, which is Rose Feline, is a satin, and it's a completely different shade. I also picked up two other shades from the Mitzah Collection, but I picked them up from Harrods, and they are satins, so they're this type of finish. I won't have those for a while because, again, they're from Harrods, and it's just going to take a while to get here. So let me just show you the swatches of the Pink Leopard. This is what I did in the video when I did the Mitzah Collection, compared to the Miss Dior. Because again, these are both velvets. That's the leopard, that's the Miss Dior. I think you can see there's a drastic difference in the shades. The Miss Dior I really like as a shade. I feel like it's a really nice kind of rosewood shade. It's very pretty. It actually reminds me a little bit of a totally different brand. The Guerlain, the new shade that came out with the cherry blossom, that I will be doing a video on, and I'll compare it to that just so you can see the shades. Again, different finish, different formula, but similar undertone shade. Now the new one that I picked up, the Rose Feline, is a very different shade and a completely different formula. And I will put this on today, but I want you to see it's very light. Very, very light pink. I do have on a new lip maximizer as well. Dior, oh, you know, I did promise, even though I'm my low buy, I would pick up most of the Dior, Tom Ford, and Chanel spring summer collections, and I am following through on that. I picked up 2 more Dior maximizers. The one I'm wearing currently is Intense Cinnamon in 039. I also picked up Shimmer Macadamia in 014. So now I have 5 of the lip maximizers. I might do a video where I just do all 5, maybe put it on Instagram so you can see the different shades. But it is a warm, it's a cinnamon shade. I will take this off before we put on the lipstick. Now, you can put any of the Dior lipsticks in this case. Like I said, it's just a matchbox. So, you know, that's pretty much all it is. It's packaging, it's cute, but I'm just saying it's really not, you know, it's not the lipstick that's different. As far as I can tell, the formulas are the same. The velvets are the same as the velvets before. The satins are the same as satins before. I didn't pick up any mattes. The formula is good. I like the Dior velvet formula for what it is. Like I said, it's not my favorite formula, but it's pretty moisturizing. The satin is my favorite. And the maximizers, as I have said many times now, I'm so surprised that I like them, but I actually really like them, and I've bought now 5 of them. Update on the eyeshadow wardrobe that we talked about in the video when I did the review for it. Now, I use this as mostly an eyeshadow palette in that review, and I did put it on my face. And when I have the video go up for the look for Soft Dior, Soft Petals, you'll see that I use this on my face. I really enjoy this as a face palette. I have been using it as blush. I've been using these as blush highlighter, and I think they're great. I think they look beautiful as blush highlighter, or highlighting blush. As eyeshadow, not so much. So if you're picking this up because you like the packaging and you just like the idea of it and you're using it as a face palette, I totally get that. And that's how I've been using it. As an eyeshadow palette, this is just my opinion. I think it's a fail because I don't use it as an eyeshadow palette at all. But as a face palette, I think it's excellent and I really like it. And I am wearing it today and I think it looks really nice on the skin. So just something to keep in mind. All right, so Soft Petals is the other thing that we're going to look at today. And Soft Petals is 809. I will have a video go up in a moment where I show you the look that I have on today, and we'll talk about how I did it in that video. But the thing is, and pictures will go up in a moment, there are comparisons that I think are pretty apt to Iconic Muse, which came out not that long ago and I did a video on. Pret-a-Porter, which is a video that is up over on Patreon right now, but I'll have up soon. It does not look anything like Bronze Sepia, which has come out the exact same time as this one. The Bronze Sepia, and again, I did a video on that one, is very different and actually my favorite of all the ones that have come out recently. It is a warm, neutral palette. It is definitely my favorite by far. I am somebody, if you haven't watched my channel before, who likes a warm neutral palette. So that's not a huge shock that that would be my favorite. But it is being released at the same time as this Soft Petals. The Mitzah eyeshadow wardrobe is separate. That's the Mitzah Collection. The Iconic Muse was also separate, but part of the Mitzah Collection, because Mitzah, the name Mitzah, is named after Dior's muse. Her I believe it's actually a nickname, was Mitzah, and she loved, like, leopard was one of her signature prints. So that's why Iconic Muse, she was an iconic muse for Dior, is this other eyeshadow palette, which is why I thought it made more sense that the eyeshadow wardrobe was a face palette, because I was like, oh, that goes with this, but apparently it does not. Anyway, who knows? So this is Iconic Muse, and it does have some similarities to the Soft Petals, but honestly, Iconic Muse is a much pinker, redder pink quint than Soft Petals. If I was going to choose right now between the two of them, there's the same formula. I have pictures that will go up as well that'll show comparisons with this and Soft Petals, Miss Dior, and Pret-a-Porter. I think there are similarities in all the color stories, but this newest one, Soft Petals, is much more of a soft rosewood kind of look, which looks more like Miss Dior than anything else. And I'll have a picture that goes up in a second to show you that. So I think it's definitely different from Iconic Muse. Iconic Muse is a much pinker, like redder pink kind of look. Not my favorite of the quints. If you have Miss Dior though, that came out last year, it is very similar. And swatches I'll have go up in just a second. But here are the Miss Dior on the side, and we've got Soft Petals on this side. The shade in the middle of Miss Dior, I talked about this when I did my video. I said I didn't really love the palette because it's very much pink, and it has purple in it, which I do like the purple. The shade here is actually a deep purple in the Miss Dior. And I was like, well, I do like it because it's got more of a purple. I said, but the middle shade is this really unique shade. And that shade is like this sort of satiny rosewood shade, which is here on the side in the Soft Petals. And that was actually that was my favorite shade in Miss Dior. And what this one does is it has basically all the same shades, except it takes the purple that was in Miss Dior and makes it a brown. And then it takes the special shade that was in the middle and puts it on the outside, and it takes like this shade here and puts it on the middle of the quint. So I'm gonna have the swatch comparisons go up, and you'll see I have a line down the middle. That was to me to remember. I've written on it, Soft Petals, Miss Dior. And you can see the shades are very, very similar. The pinks line up, the toppers are the shiny, shimmery shades are very, very similar. The one in Miss Dior is that purple, deep purple matte, and this one is this cool, almost grayish brown, which I like much better. But that is really the only difference between these two. The formula is a little bit like the Miss Dior is a little less shimmery. This one's a little more shimmery. But really the big difference is that in the Soft Petals, there's deep, deep, cool brown. And in the Miss Dior, there's a deep purple. That's the difference between these two. For the most part, when you look at these pictures that are going up, you'll see they are very, very similar quints. So if you missed out on Miss Dior, this is almost the same. The difference is the Miss Dior is going to be more purple, more cool purple, and then this one's going to be more peachy, cool brown. Now, I will show you the look on my eyes that it exists right now. And then I'll have a video go up of me putting it on, and we'll talk about how I achieved that look step by step. All right, so first we're going to take the wardrobe, eyeshadow wardrobe. This is the Mitzah edition. And we're going to use this as blush and highlighter today. Basically what I did is I took these two shades and just blended them together. And I've talked about this Mitzah eyeshadow wardrobe a couple of times. As an eyeshadow palette, I do not like it. But as a blush palette, I think it's great. I just took a little bit of this shade here. It's a much deeper blush. So if you're interested in a much deeper blush, that one right there. And I used it as a little bit of almost like a contour on the cheeks. We're gonna use one of the lip maximizers in Intense Cinnamon. This is 039. And we'll just leave that on the lips while I do the eye look. Starting with the brown matte shade.
I'm taking that deep brown shade and just putting it into the crease of the eye. Now I'm taking the cranberry metallic shade, and I'm going to use that in the crease as well, but I'm going to sort of focus it on the outer corner of the eye. Now I'm going to take the pink satin shade and put it on the outer half of the eye, just patting it on. Now I'm going to take the peachy satin shade, put it on the inner corner of the eye. And now I'm taking the pink satin shade in the middle and patting it all over the lid with my finger. going back into the cranberry satin shade and using it as liner. Finished look?
Okay, so as you saw in the look that I have on my eyes today that I've created, really it is a beautiful shimmery pink look, but it's not pink. It's like rosewood peachy kind of shade, which I really like. And I would say of all the spring releases that Dior has had, including the eyeshadow wardrobe, Bronze Sepia is my favorite, and then this one comes next. I really do like this quint. I think the brown for me saves it. I think this shade is a really unique shade. Like you can see in the swatches, it's like a rosewood shade. It's very much like the Miss Dior lipstick that I showed you just a little while ago, and the new Guerlain lipstick, which we're not talking about today, but I've been using them at the same time, and it's a similar shade. It's like this gorgeous rosewood, which I do like. And when I say the difference is it has like a warmth to it, an undertone that's not pink. It's rosewood, and it's a really beautiful shade. So this one is really a unique shade. These are all shimmers, as you can see. The only one that's matte is this brown, and I think that, or satins, I think that actually makes this a more interesting quint than the Miss Dior, because this has more like shimmer, more satin to it, and I think it creates a beautiful look. You can, make it more peachy or more rosewood, depending on how much of each shade that you use, but I really like the look that I achieved. Again, you get more of this purpley brown kind of thing, and then I kept it light on the lid, as you saw in the video. So I really, really like this. I think it's a beautiful alternative for those of us who want something springy but don't want pink, don't want Iconic Muse. The Soft Petals is a really good description. I think it works well for spring, but it's not like overwhelmingly floral pink, which I really like. The packaging, again, for this particular eyeshadow is the same. Like, there's nothing different about this. There's no embossing on the eyeshadows itself. It's not part of the Mitzah Collection. The Mitzah Collection is the eyeshadow, the foundation in the Cushion Compact, the rose powder, the Mitzah lipsticks and the case. And there's also the Iconic Muse, which is part of that, even though it doesn't have the packaging. I don't know. The Bronze Sepia and this came out together. So this is, I guess, spring. And then the Pret-a-Porter, which is over on Patreon right now, but should be up here soon, is the Spring Summer 23 collection, which is also like what Cruise was last year. Are you confused yet? I know, there's a lot. So that's all the different pieces. Now, the lip maximizers came out at the end of 2022 and into 2023. I really like them. I think they're really good. Like I said, if you guys are interested, I will do a video where I have all 5 on my lips. I can just have it on Instagram or a real YouTube short here. Let me know. So let's talk packaging. So I did packaging. Formulas. Formula is the same. I don't notice any difference in the formulas in any of the eyeshadows, even the eyeshadow wardrobe. Formula is the same. It's like a shimmery highlighting blush. That's how it works on me anyway. For the ones in there that have a shimmer, and the rest are mattes, and they work really well as blush. The eyeshadow, Bronze Sepia, and here Soft Petals, same formula as all the other quints. I don't notice any difference. Prices are the same. They're $62 for the eyeshadows. The eyeshadow wardrobe and the rose and the Mitzah collection, those are different because they are a different collection and they are priced different. This one is, and I'll make sure the price is below, a different price point, obviously, than the quints because there's more shades in there. Lipsticks are the same price. And this it came free when I ordered one of the lipsticks in the Mitzah collection on the Dior site. So it was just added. We talked about the shades. This is, again, most similar to Miss Dior. If you missed out on Miss Dior, this is the closest one. And honestly, I like it a lot more. I think the brown really, I think the brown really gives it a depth and a versatility that the Miss Dior kind of lacks because the Miss Dior is more pink purple. This one I think you could wear You can wear anything you want year round, but I think it lends itself to more year round because of that brown. So I really, really like that. So we're gonna put the new lipstick on the lips. Like I said, I have had the cinnamon on, maximizer on. My lips are incredibly dry. And I do know that sometimes my lips look very, very dry on film, and I want you guys to know that I do use lip balm all the time. Emil Corden, I've mentioned it, ad nauseum. I have it sitting on my desk. I use it before I start filming, but a lot of times by the time I get to the end of the video, my lips are still, they've become increasingly dry as I've spoken. The lip maximizers, though, do seem to keep my lips hydrated. Cross fingers. So I have a tendency now to put them on the beginning of the video to keep my lips looking good throughout the video. But I will take it off before I put the lipstick on so you can see what Rose Feline looks like. I'm going to take a little bit of the rose powder and put it on my face. And you guys can see that. I've, really, really taken to this powder. I think it's an excellent, excellent brightening powder. I think it, might leave a little bit of a cast on a deeper skin tone, but I don't know. So I would be really interested if other folks have tried it, what their thoughts are. But it does have like a light pinky cast, which I think actually looks quite beautiful and brightens up my face. But again, I'm very pale, so I would love to get some feedback on that if anybody has any to offer. But the compact does have the Mitzah packaging. It's very comfortable. It's not drying. It doesn't settle onto lines. I don't find it irritating. For me, it's an absolute win. So let me take off this maximizer and let's try the pink Feline on the lips. I'm sorry, Rose Feline. I keep calling it pink Feline. 253, and again, this is the satin formula. Very light pink. Like super light pink, almost like ballerina pink. I think this would look great with the Fig liner from Dior or Jungle. Let me see if I can grab those. I think it would look great with lots of liners. Let's try Jungle. Now, if you want a pinkier look, don't go with Jungle or Fig because they have a little bit more of a brown. But I'm not huge, I like pink, but I like pink with a brown. Love that. See, and you know what it reminds me of? And it's totally old school. It's MAC Per lip gloss. And I used to wear that with like Spice liner or a different warm or actually cool brown liner. The light pink lipstick. There's one from Wet n Wild, which I absolutely love from last year. And like a darker browner lipstick, I think makes a great combination. I enjoy that. And I think it looks really good on. Final thoughts on the Dior, and I'm going to call it Dior Spring Collection. There are 3 distinct collections. There's the Mitzah Collection, which is characterized by the leopard packaging, but there's a bunch of lipsticks in the Mitzah Collection that are satin, matte, and velvet, and I think there's one metallic, but the metallic looked like a really light beige color, which is why I didn't go with it. That have this case that you can get with it. But the lipsticks themselves do not have anything on the outer packaging. The embossing on the lipstick, though, you do have the Dior stripe. So that's how you can tell it's part of the Mitzah Collection. I am in love with the powder from the Mitzah Collection. The lipsticks I think are great because it's the same formula. Just got to find your shade. Like I said, I have 2 other shades that are satins that'll come to me eventually. I'll let you know about those. The eyeshadow wardrobe, do not like it as an eyeshadow at all. Love it as face highlighting blushes. The Iconic Muse that's part of that collection, not my favorite. Not my favorite eyeshadow quint, but not surprising because it's very, very pink. Then we have the new eyeshadow quints that have just released, Bronze Sepia and Soft Petals, which we talked about today. Love Bronze Sepia. And Soft Petals, I think, could be a favorite. I really like this look. This rosewood with the brown and the peaches and the light satiny pinks, I think is really nice on the eye. I think it'll be flattering for a lot of folks, and it's something that you can do for spring, absolutely, but you could wear year round. Then we have the Spring Summer 23, which is the Pret-a-Porter, which again is over on Patreon and will be up here soon. That is something that was released for a very short period of time in 22. Will come out who knows, soon for spring, summer. And that's kind of like their runway, their, cruise collection, their, I forget what it's actually called. Like it's when everyone starts doing bathing suits in February because people are going on vacation, that type of collection. And that's a separate quint. So Dior has a lot. There's also Dior Summer out there, which technically I have purchased. However, you might have heard there's like this whole Royal Mail backup. So I don't know when I'm going to get that. Usually I would have it by now and have it up on Patreon, but as soon as I have it, it will be up over there. Although I might get it and it might already be released. Who knows? We'll see. So that is the entire Dior spring collection as it stands right now. Happy to answer any questions if you have any specifics about any of these, whether it's Mitzah or the Pret-a-Porter, which isn't technically here yet, or the Soft Petals Bronze Sepia that have just released. I have heard that Dior is coming out with a new formula for their blushes and possibly some other things. I don't have any of the blushes yet. So with the Iconic Muse, I believe it is, there was a blush, and I've talked about it, that I'm pretty sure has the same number as another blush that already exists, but the shades don't look the same. So I'm a little confused, I'll be honest. But as soon as if I can get my hands on that blush, I will certainly let you know and put that to rest, whether it's a new shade or not. But I don't have it quite yet. So I think that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon.